This is another video about a battery maintainer. This one is a Schumacher SE-1-12S. This one is actually designed to be mounted in a car, boat, RV or something to keep your car's battery charged and ready to go. I got this off of eBay. It's basically new old stock. Seller bought it for some reason and decided that they didn't need it, and so it actually had never been used. And it comes with the instructions, which if you're interested, we'll go over some of the comedic stuff of this at the end of the video. It comes with this, which allows you to mount it to a directly to the battery. Actually, you mount it to this, and then this goes under the battery, and you can have it right next to the battery. So it also came with a couple of sets of screws for clamping it to this. So we're just going to cut to the opening it up so you can see what's in it. And I've already removed the screws. And you can see that this has just got a small switching power supply, and it just turns the AC voltage into 12 volts, 1.5 amps. There is one thing I noticed when I opened this up that I really like over the other Schumacher battery maintainers. This one has a little relay in it. This one actually, when power is removed from this, the relay is disengaged, and that completely disconnects the battery from the device, whereas other ones have usually something like a diode or something like that. They're not meant to be left unpowered for a very long time on the device. And you'll see when I show you how I've got my current Schumacher mounted in my truck that I disconnect it from the battery anytime I need to go someplace. There is one problem with this that won't work for me, and probably won't work for a lot of people. And you can probably see it right away. It's this ridiculously short cord. You would think for a device that's meant to be mounted in a vehicle permanently that they would give you enough cord that you could run the cord or the plug outside the car. Instead, they give you one where you have to open the car up and then connect an extension cord, and I don't want that. So I've already come up with a solution. And that is that I've got another power cord. And I'm going to mount that in here, and we'll mount that in the truck in just a few seconds. So I'm going to close this thing up and we'll go do that. Actually, there's a couple things I forgot to go over before we'll mount it in the truck. Number one is when you plug it up, if you have no battery connected, none of these lights come on. That's normal. That when you first plug it up, this light will turn solid, which shows that it's charging. If I remember correctly, it's red, then the other one's green, and then once it is finished charging, the other light will start pulsing, and it just slowly fades in and out. It does come with very large connectors on it. I want to say these are probably about 3/8 or half an inch. Anyways, there we go. That's nice, don't mark anything. Looks like that's 7/16. Kind of big. Alright, now we're going to go out and install it. Alright, see if I can do this without being as shaky as I can. This is my present location of my other Schumacher battery charger. It's pretty kludged in here. I've got the cord running so where it goes to, I can plug in an extension cord, and it's connected to the positive terminal on the back of the alternator, and then negative, I think, just goes to a ground somewhere. Oh good, we're in the hood, and so anyways, I'm gonna rip all this out and connect it up correctly. Alright, so I've got it mounted using the battery bracket. I've stuck it here on the side. I've got it positive going to positive, negative going to negative, and it just barely reaches in this application. And then I've got the cord, the AC cord, going up. It's routing here. It goes along, and then it will just be in here. And when I hook it up, I'll be putting the cord through here. So, can't do this two-handed. Let's see if I can put it like that. Let's give it power and hope it doesn't blow up. And you can see it's red. It says it's charging. And it'll sit like that for a while, and then it'll switch over to a green pulsing light. And that's about it. That's all you have to do. Oh, and I installed a 3-amp fuse between the battery charger and the battery. I just don't trust that something couldn't go wrong and it would short out, and melt down, cause a fire, or something like that. So little added security or safety or whatever you want to call it. So there you go. If you're interested, stay tuned for the reading of the instruction manual. Okay, as promised, here we're going to go over some of the things in the manual. This is the manual, and first thing is that only half of it is actually a manual, the rest of it's in Spanish. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages are nothing but safety information, and then it talks about some of the things, the way it works. So one of the things I want to point out is the slight absurdity of this. It says here, an extension cord should not be used unless absolutely necessary. It is not possible to use this device without an extension cord as it comes from the factory. The cord is too short, and the attachments to the battery are too short. There's just no way you could do it without an extension cord. Do not disassemble the charger. Yeah, whatever. Alright, charger location. Locate the charger as far away from battery as DC cables permit. Well, as you can see, that's about, at the most, 1 foot. But as I mentioned earlier, if we go in here, zoom in here. If you look here, it tells you you can mount it right on the battery. So obviously this right here is complete nonsense. Never allow battery acid to drip on charger. Well, I would really not actually intend to do that, but if you mount it near a battery, that's going to happen. Connect and disconnect DC output clips, which this doesn't have, only after setting any charger switches, which this doesn't have, to off, and removing AC cord from electrical outlet. Never allow clips to touch each other. This thing has safety so the circuitry doesn't apply voltage until it senses voltage. So you can touch the connections together all you want. Do not face battery when making final connection. Well, I don't know how you're going to connect it then, unless you're really good at doing things by feel. And like I said, here it's showing you you can mount the charger alongside the battery. It says when charging a battery in the vehicle to keep the hood open. No, that's not the point of this. You're buying it so you can charge your car all the time. When charging is complete, disconnect the charger from AC power. Once again, this is meant as a battery maintainer, and it can't do anything if it's unplugged from power. Apparently, it has a desulfation mode. It doesn't say how it works or anything, but it says it could take 8 to 10 hours if Desulfation fails, charging will abort, and the red LED will flash. So I guess it must test the battery or check the battery somehow, and if it needs to be desulfated, it will it'll do that. It has a maintain mode, and that's float mode monitoring. It's not trickle charging or float charging. That means that it will charge the battery, and then when the battery is fully charged, it stops charging it and just monitors the battery, the state of charge, and then when it falls below some unknown value, it will start charging again. This one does say how long it takes to charge a battery approximately, and on small 6 to 12 amp hour batteries it says 2 to 5 hours. Motorcycle, garden tractors, 12 to 32 amp hour, 5 to 13 hours for 13 and a half hours. For small batteries, you can use this as an actual charger, but for larger batteries, you want to charge the battery up with an actual battery charger before connecting this thing. So it's really just meant to maintain. It's not meant to try and fully charge a battery. Here it says, battery ring terminals do not spark when touched together. This charger is equipped with an auto start feature. It will not supply current to the battery ring terminals until our battery is properly connected. The ring terminals will not spark if touched together. So there's no reason, like I said, that you can't touch the battery terminals together. So that's really it with the silliness in here. So, later.